Your boy Cool Eagle back here for another video, basically talking about my point as to why Miles Sanders is a very underrated running back and why also the wide receiver group is the most concerning still on our team. I'll have a more detailed explanation in a PowerPoint format later on in this video. But just the word will verbally say why I disagree with it. If you look at what Miles Sanders had to go through the first 8 weeks of the year, being a rookie and being behind Jordan Howard, who the third best running back since 2016, behind Ezekiel Elliott and Todd Gurley, getting those backup roles, and then of course, rookie mistakes like the fumbles that he definitely cleaned up in the season, and you can definitely see that in the numbers that I'll be posting in the PowerPoint format of the video. And just besides that, if all that just not happen, we just flat out made Miles Sanders a starter, I feel like his stats would have been a bit more heightened, and I think that he wouldn't have been as snubbed for Rookie of the Year. And then the fact that could he be the next LaShawn McCoy? I also want to make that point as well, just because same size, same build, same kind of running style, except you could argue Miles Sanders is stronger and faster than LaShawn McCoy, because we know that while LaShawn McCoy was the shiftiest of them all during that era in the 2010s. We also know that he wasn't a breakaway runner. So going over those two things, and then talking about why the wide receiver group is the most concerning, just because it's still question marks over the health of Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey. You just signed you just signed Jalen Reagor to that 4-year, $13 million deal, and you're just hoping he pans out. Unlike our first draft receiver last year in J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, who's still question marks. There's still a lot of question marks at the wide receiver group. Unlike the linebacker, who we know Davion Taylor is going to be a star. He was the missing piece to our linebacker group, which had the worst production last year as far as missed tackles, and mainly Nathan Gary. Now, I know that T.J. Edwards is going to be a stud just by the numbers in the film that we already have on him. Davion Taylor, just going to add that speed element and just his defensive IQ. And then Nathan Gary, I feel like Nathan Gary is going to come back for a much better year. I'm confident in that. There's absolutely no question marks within our linebacking group. And then the secondary, you signed Darius Slay. You got a nickel guru like Nikhil Roby-Coleman, and you have more depth at the safety position with Will Parks and that stud Kayvon Wallace. So, which allows you to move Rasul Douglas, the likes of Rasul Douglas, Jalen Mills, around to different spots. Increase that depth. For different packages like dime and nickel. So I'll be going on over that in a later video as to why the wide receiving group is more concerning. But just hope y'all enjoy the presentation, man. And just remember, subscribe if you like what you see, man. Let's talk football in the comments as well. And one of the reasons I say that Miles Sanders could be the next, if not better than Sean McCoy, is look, they're the same size, same build, 5'11", 210, similar build. And then I think they both went to schools around the Pennsylvania area. And I got this off PFF. I got my own subscription there. You should too if you're into stats like that. But basically what they have Miles Sanders as is a receiving back, because they have his grade higher in receiving than rushing. Now, this is still not to say he's not an above average back. It's just, I guess, for the numbers he had and his performance, they deemed him as more as a receiving back. And this is very valid due to the fact that he was Miles Dancers for half the year and just mainly was used on pass plays because he had great hands. But if in the ranking, it's deserving what they put him at 19th best back.
because everything they're saying is factual. He had a very good rookie season. 1,300 all-purpose yards. He did run behind the highest graded offensive line in the NFL at the time. And then there's the fact that he didn't break a lot of tackles. So obviously he has room to improve outside of those 8 games. But it's not to say that Miles Sanders was a huge contender for Rookie of the Year because of his value and the fact that his stats are very skewed in the first 8 games, just solely because he was behind Jordan Howard, who at that time was the third best running back behind Todd and Zeke. And we can see that from the stats because we see the first 12 games, although he had spurts in the passing game where we mainly used him, he wasn't really an effective rusher, and we didn't see the best out of his rushing ability until like week 11. So, from the sample, we can clearly make the assessment that the potential is there. Because from week 11 to week 16, he was averaging over 75 yards a game, like just for rushing. So if we would tack that on to the rest of the year, he was good for 1,200 yards, like 1,100 at minimum, because he was trekking 75 yards a game from week 11 to 16. If you track that and multiply by 16, he's good for 1,100, 1,200 yard season. And there would have been a less likely chance that he would have got snubbed for Rookie of the Year. And another reason I say that he's very similar to like LaShawn McCoy, because LaShawn McCoy had this exact same start in his career. I think he wasn't the starting running back, and then the fact that he wasn't seen as highly until his second year in the league. Top 10 running back numbers in the league, possibly could have competed with Zeke, and that's my reasoning for this.